Hey there, it's Tori. You know that feeling of being stuck, staring at your laptop, trying to figure out yet another marketing strategy while your dog is saying, please pay attention to me? I've been there, and I know exactly what you need to start seeing real progress. That's why I created Wear, Wag, Repeat Society, and right now you can try it for just $24 for your first 2 weeks. The moment you join, you'll get my brand new Get Discovered Online Quick Start Guide. It's packed with 6 practical wins that you can implement in 30 minutes or less to attract more of your dream clients. But that's just the beginning. Inside the society, you'll find clear templates for planning your content, weekly accountability to keep you on track, and most importantly, a community of petpreneurs who totally get what you are building. Take that first step today. Head to wearwagrepeat.com/society and try it out for 2 weeks. I'll even welcome you personally with a one-on-one coffee chat to map out your personal growth strategy. I can't wait to see you inside. You're listening to the Wear, Wag, Repeat podcast, a show dedicated to helping you grow your pet business in a sustainable way that still gives you plenty of time to hang out with your own pets. I'm your host and the founder of Wear, Wag, Repeat, Tori Mystic. Today, on this episode, I want to take you a little bit behind the scenes of something that I am working on in my business right now. And before I tell you what that is, I want to share a little quick story that's my inspiration for this new project. So I have a blog post on my Wear, Wag, Repeat site that is for pet parents. It's a DIY tutorial on how to make a reversible dog bandana. If you don't know, I have been sewing for most of my life, and I love doing crafts and sewing. And so over the years, I've posted a few sewing-related DIYs and other things like that. And I've noticed recently, as I've gotten more into quilting, because that's my latest sewing hobby, that a lot of quilting tutorials provide people with these downloadable templates that they can use to cut out their project or sew their project. And personally, I over Christmas made a Christmas stocking for my sister's dog. That was her request. And instead of just cutting out my own template or making my own template for the Christmas stocking, I actually sought out a blog post about this, and I found one, and the woman who wrote it had a opt-in freebie to get the Christmas stocking pattern that you could print out and trace out and use it to make your own Christmas stocking. And now I'm excited because I can use that pattern over and over again. Next year I can make her a stocking for herself or one for her boyfriend or whatever. So it's a really handy, helpful, and useful opt-in freebie. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I'm always saying you need to have an opt-in freebie that solves a problem, that helps people. You don't just want to be blathering on and on about whatever. You want to be able to give someone something that solves a problem. That's going to inspire them to hand over their email address and get your solution because they want a solution right now, right? So I've noticed this in other sewing and quilting blogs, and I was looking at my Google Analytics recently and seeing, a lot of people are still looking at this DIY reversible dog bandana blog post. And in the blog post, I explain exactly how to take the measurements, how you can make your own pattern. I recommend using wrapping paper because that's a nice, really big piece of paper that most people have lying around, and you can use the back side of it to just trace out a really big triangle for your dog bandana. And I have a really thorough blog post with all of the instructions right there. And I've thought for years, I wonder if I should have a template, but I just kind of procrastinated because honestly, it kind of sounded like a pain in the ass to make, and I just never got around to it until last week. So literally last week, for some reason, I was like, you know what? I'm going to create a custom opt-in just for this blog post. This opt-in is not going to exist on any other blog post. I'm not going to put it in my sidebar or have a landing page. It's only going to live in this blog post because That's going to get the attention of people who are looking for a solution to this problem right this very second. So I used Claude AI to help me actually create what would we call it? Like a diagram of how to make this bandana. I decided that actually having people print out the paper would be a lot of paper. It's really just a triangle. So I used Claude to help me make this diagram. I ended up not actually really making a printable pattern because it's just a triangle, people. But the download that people get includes a size guide, more measuring instructions, and it includes this diagram of exactly how to measure and how to cut things and just how to do it. So it's not really groundbreaking, but it is something helpful and useful, and it solves a problem. And so I just put this together last week and I set it up in Kit, formerly known as ConvertKit. That's my email system. And I made this little opt-in form and I set it up so that people would automatically get this little PDF that I created. And I programmed it all in there and I set it up. And in the first 24 hours, 3 people signed up for this, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you've ever created an opt-in freebie that went on something old, this isn't even a new thing. I didn't send it out to my email list. I just put it on there. And a few people signed up in the first day. And now it's been 7 days and 32 people have signed up for this free pattern. So this is a really great example and little case study to show you that if you make the right freebie that's solving someone's problem, you can really get traction and get some email signups. Now, to me, 32 people, isn't a huge amount, but for you, if you have just 100 people on your list, 32 would be a huge number. That'd be a huge jump in your subscribers, or even if you have 1,000 people. That's a lot of new people to have on your email list. So I'm grateful for that. I'm not going to take that for granted. And I'm going to use this as inspiration for a new freebie that I want your input on. So here's what I'm working on now. I have seen the success of this free little bandana pattern, and I know I need to create a new freebie for my petpreneur people, so AKA you, the people who listen to this podcast. I know that I need a new freebie. I feel like this podcast is a great freebie, but you can listen to it anywhere and everywhere. You don't need to give me your email address to listen to it. And I love growing my email list, especially as we're seeing social media becoming a little unpredictable and maybe unreliable. I love growing my email list. So here I want to share with you 3 different ideas that I have for this opt-in freebie. And then I want you to listen to them and give me your feedback. So you can do this in a few ways. If you're on my email list, check your email because I sent you an email asking you for feedback on this. But if you're not and you're listening to this on Spotify, you can actually comment on this episode. If you're listening on YouTube, you can also comment on this episode. And if you're listening somewhere else, you can also just reply to me via email, tori@wearwagrepeat.com, or you can come find me on Instagram @wearwagrepeat and let me know what you think about this. So I have 3 ideas. Here is the first one. This is a 3-day profit kickstart. So this is perfect for anyone who is tired of undercharging or feeling like they're not making enough money based off how much effort and time they're putting into their business. Over the 3 days, we would start with day 1. It would be sort of an audit of making sure that it's easy for people to buy from you. Day 2 would be all about strategic pricing and package pricing and when to raise your rates. And then day 3 would be about systems to follow up with people to turn people who are curious about you into clients, or people who are first-time clients into repeat clients, or people who've bought one thing into someone who's buying a package from you. So basically how to grow and how to build on that low-hanging fruit. The clear key takeaway from this 3-day profit kickstart would be that you would leave with a clear pricing strategy. You would have confidence in your pricing and your packages, and I would give you some really quick wins that you could use to actually increase your revenue over those 3 days. So my goal would be for you to have more money in your pocket after those 3 days. So that's option number 1. I'm thinking that would probably be like recorded videos, but super, super short with very clear takeaways. All right, number 2 is something that I'm just kind of loosely calling the Publicity Pack. And this would be my actual templates, case studies, and examples of how I have landed coverage in the Wall Street Journal, local television coverage, national television coverage on Good Morning America, continued coverage in Good Housekeeping and BuzzFeed and all kind of different outlets. It would include a complete pitch kit where you could just kind of fill in your details, almost like a little Mad Lib style pitch template that you could use to pitch yourself to this kind of publicity coverage. It would also include a pitch that you could use to get yourself as a guest on podcasts. So if reaching out to Good Morning America is maybe a little bit intimidating, you could use this to reach out to some podcasts within your niche as well. So this would include a simple visibility checklist just to make sure that these journalists and reporters can easily find you. And it would include a story framework that I have found that editors really love. You kind of have to pitch a story. You can't just say, I do this thing. We got to make it a story that entices them to want to cover you. So the big key takeaway here would be a ready-to-use system that you can use to get your business noticed. Okay, so you would walk away with clear templates, a to-do list, and a formula that you could use to create a story that you can then use to pitch to media, podcasts, etc. Okay, so that's option number 2. Now, finally, option number 3 is all about tech. So this is about tech systems, and it would really be more of a screen share tutorial walkthrough of the essential tech tools that I use to run my pet business online. So I would show you my email software kit and the email sequences that I set up, such as my welcome sequence, whenever anyone purchases anything, sequences that I set up when someone's credit card has expired, if they're on a recurring payment plan for something. And I would also share with you some time-saving automation tricks that I use with tools like Zapier, Google Forms, Google Docs, Gmail, all of that kind of stuff. Your key takeaway here would be how to save 10 hours a week using these streamlined systems. So I am a one-woman operation over here, and I do not have an assistant or a partner who is running my business with me. I don't have any employees, or I don't have a boss either. So it's all on me. And that means I have to be really smart and efficient with my time. You guys know I get a lot done. And I get a lot done because I have these systems. If there's ever anything I can automate or set up in a way that's easily replicated, I am always doing that. So I would be able to show you how you could potentially save up to 10 hours a week by using these systems. Okay? So what I love about all 3 of these options is they're really all based off of real experiences that I have tested in my business. But not only that, they are going to include real examples from people in Wear, Wag, Repeat Society and other petpreneur business owners that I know and admire. I will be including some case studies about their success in all 3 of these different areas as well. So the point of these 3 freebie options is to give you some quick wins, help you solve some problems, and hopefully get some new petpreneurs on my email list. As you know, I am really excited to dedicate myself to Wear, Wag, Repeat Society this year. I am not offering any other courses or coaching or masterminds or anything of the sort because I am focusing 100% on delivering for my members in Wear, Wag, Repeat Society. My goal is to hit 100 members by this December, 11 months from now. And so I really want to make a great freebie freebie that is going to help people and show them how I could even help them more if they wanted to try out my membership community, because there's so much good stuff in there. So again, the options are the 3-day Profit Kickstart, which is a 3-day series of short video workshops and some guides and checklists. Option 2 is the Publicity Pack, which would also include one video, but it would really focus more on templates, a pitch template that you could fill in yourself, and a framework to craft a story that you could use to pitch to editors and podcasters. And then number 3 would be the tech systems. And this would be a screen share video where I would show you exactly how I save up to 10 hours a week by streamlining and automating things in my business using different elements of my tech stack. So I want to hear which one of those 3 things appeals to you the most. I'm so torn. I love all of them, but I want to create what is going to solve a problem for the most petpreneurs. So your feedback would be so valuable to me. I would really appreciate it. Again, you can comment if you're on a platform that permits that, like Spotify or YouTube, or you can send me an email. You can also come and find me on Instagram at @WhereWagRepeat and let me know what you think. And hopefully you're on my email list. So you should have gotten the email about this and you can just reply to that. And of course, I would love to have you in Where Wag Repeat Society. I have a brand new $24 trial that you can do that gives you access to the membership for 14 days. So you get 2 weeks of access for just $24. Which is a really great deal. And I'm doing that because I want people to get in there and see really what it's about. There are so many resources, workshops, trainings, panel discussions, there's templates, there's everything you could want is in there. Plus, I have some new features this year, like my Voxer office hours, where every single Thursday morning I'm available for one-on-one chats with people in my membership community. And we're also doing monthly member spotlights. There's a lot of great stuff going on. If you want to try it out now, it is a great time because we have our February call coming up on Wednesday, February 5th. So if you're listening to this episode the day that it comes out, 1 week from today is our big group call in Where Wag Repeat Society. So it's perfect timing to give the 2-week trial a try. And you can find all that info at wherewagrepeat.com/society. Now, while I really want your feedback on what freebie I should create, I hope this episode inspires you to create a new opt-in freebie that you can use to get pet parents or petpreneurs on your own email list. Remember, you want your freebie to solve a problem for your audience. So if you're not sure how you could do that, you should ask them, just like I am right now. Ask your audience what is a problem that they are facing day to day in their life with their pets or in their pet business, whatever kind of niche that you are in, and see if you can create a freebie that helps them solve that problem. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I will be back here with another fresh episode next Wednesday.